Awesome. Welcome to our Hero Boost video series. My name is Brian Frazier from Team World Vision as we prepare for the 2016 San Antonio Marathon and Half Marathon on December 4th. I love these videos because as we head through training for this race and our hero level goals, I get to share some of my heroes with you. And today we have Dr. Brad Barez. Dr. Brad leads the Back to Healthcare Clinic, which provides chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and nutritional therapy since 1994. He's been named the best chiropractor in the South Bay LA area for the last 6 years in a row. His list of patients include professional athletes from all sports, actors, all kinds of celebrities, and between them and just average people just like us, you name it. This year at the LA Marathon, Brad raised over $110,000. which is amazing. Brad and I met briefly at the LA race, but got to know each other even better on a recent vision trip to Africa through World Vision. So I am super excited to have Brad take time out of his busy schedule today and just answer a few questions and share with us his testimony and what it's like to be with Team World Vision. So welcome, Brad.
Well, thank you, Brian, and it's definitely a pleasure to speak with you and everybody who's involved with Team World Vision. So it's an honor, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome, man. Let's, as we jump into it, tell us about your testimony and why you got into chiropractic care. I love your story.
Yeah, so you know, I had the childhood vision of playing in the NFL and being a running back like John Riggins, and I played high school football, and then from high school I went to college, and I was a running back, so I love to run. I always love to move my legs, and I went out for a pass. I jumped up in the air. It was a screen pass, bad pass, but I caught it. I was kind of, it was a mid-air collision, and as I came down, I hit the ground funny, and I lost all the sensation in my legs. So from my belly button all the way down, it was gone. So I was rushed to the hospital. They found out I had 3 disc herniations in my back. One was very severe, about 18 millimeters, compressing my spinal cord. Some surgeons said you gotta have to have emergency surgery. Another surgeon said, you know, let's wait a little bit. And so, long story short, I did a bunch of physical therapy as good as I could get as I got into crutches. You know, I had a bunch of injections and physical therapy for about 2 months. And I just said I have to have surgery. That's when I met a sports chiropractor. I never even knew there was one back then. And he, you know, I used to kind of make fun of this profession a little bit as my mom was a physical therapist. And I went to his office and he made a chiropractic adjustment on my low back. And that was the first time I could actually walk without crutches immediately. I was able to walk without crutches. Another fast forward here. 3 months later, after doing sprints and training and back into it, he said I was ready to play football again at an NCAA level. And my mom, guess what she said? She said, "No way." And I said, you know, let me show you I'm better. And really, Brian, without training, I went out and I ran the Palos Verdes Marathon. When back then it was the first 10 miles was straight uphill. And I finished at a very, very good time, and my legs were fine. So I got in this profession. I believe that God has my hand and just sometimes gently pushes me through things, sometimes, and most of the time, believe it or not, forces me into what I'm supposed to be doing in life. And I became one of the first real good sports chiropractors of my school. And I founded the Sports Injury Council of Chiropractic in the United States and worked from then on. Here I am 23 years later, having fun, healing people, man.
It's amazing, man. It's really amazing. Now, I know that we have a lot of newbies just getting into half marathon or marathon. And I know you see a lot of runners into your clinic. What are some important tips that you would have for all of our newbies just getting into this and they're scared half to death when it comes to training?
All right, so that's a great question, Brian. I mean, you are a man of complete health. I mean, you've done like 56 miles and still have a good time. which I saw Brian do in Comrades in South Africa, which is amazing. However, I kind of let myself go. I got a little overweight, and you know, I met Team World Vision. I said, I'm going to do this. I said yes. And I was scared to death. I'm like, what am I going to do? So, you know, here's what I want you to understand. It is a mental game. It is not really a physical game. I mean, I started really overweight, kind of walk jogging. I just want you guys to understand, take your time, walk most of it and jog a little bit. Then all of a sudden you notice it gets easier and easier and easier. If you can get your times around 15-minute miles, you know, 16-minute miles, you're going to do the whole thing. So I don't want you to worry about it, but pace yourself. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you're overweight, you can do this. And there's a lot of people from my church that are doing it with me that saw me do it last year, and they're going to do it this year. So they're real excited. But you just need to understand, you don't have to run the whole time. It's mostly walking and a little bit of jog. I mean, I even ate chili dogs on the LA marathon. So just enjoy yourself. It's a fun journey, man. It's not a destination.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Perfect advice. So when I gave the introduction, I mentioned how much money you raised in your fundraising and part of your journey. And that's probably just gonna, that is a crazy number. Tell us about your approach. How did you do it? And what happened?
Well, again, it's God leading the way, Brian. It's not me at all. I just want you guys to know that. I enjoy reading the Bible. I really enjoy it. And so I read it a few times. I can't even tell you how many times, but the Old Testament has a very specific areas on how to tithe. And back in the day, they used to do what's called the first fruit. So whatever you picked off your harvest, the first fruits or the first 10% or whatever you want to say went to the altar immediately as a gift to the Lord. And so when a patient comes in my office, we offer them, hey, you can pay us, or you can pay these guys over here that actually save lives in Africa. Which would you want to do? And they're saying, and it's a no-brainer. They're going, we want to help kids drink water in Africa and save their lives. And that's what we did. We just gave them that option. Sometimes it's a lot of money, and we've seen some patients pay from $50 to $1,000 on a first visit, and it's just out of their heart. And it's a great program. You could do it with anything. Any business could say, hey, a part of this goes to this. This, the first time you're here goes to this. And we love working with World Vision. It's 100% legit. I'm always trying to find, things that are wrong, and you guys are spot on. So love what you're doing.
Fantastic, man. I am inspired by you. And if you could encourage our team who may be coming up to this and facing fears in their fundraising, what advice would you give them? You've already given so much great advice, but for any that are there that are afraid at this point of the fundraising, what advice would you give them?
If you do not ask, you will not receive. And I just want to let you know that people want to be part of your mission. They want to be part of you. And the way they can be part of your mission and feed these lives is they're going to contribute to your mission and your heart and what God desires. So all I say is, if you don't ask, nothing's going to happen. I've had people say, no, we don't want to donate to that. That's fine. And then I had some people say, not only us, I'm going to get my whole family involved in this. And it's all about their heart and their heart meeting your mission and God's desire. And it's an awesome thing, Brian. It really is. So you got to ask, and you can ask many ways, right? You can just ask them verbally. You can email, you can text them, you can, video chat with them, whatever you want to do. But if you just put something on the wall and throw it there, it's usually not going to work. So I always say you gotta have many approaches, and just keep up the reminding and give them a time limit on it as well. I would say it works really well.
Amazing stuff, man. And this, just want to thank you. This is all extremely helpful, as we've seen everything from your testimony, which I know we want more chances to hear more of that story and just how amazing it is. The tips you've given people, which can be really practical for the majority of our participants as they come, are going to be doing more walking than running, is fantastic. And then your approach to fundraising is extremely encouraging to everyone. Just want to tell you, Brad, thank you so much for your time today and giving this out. It's going to make a huge impact. Yeah,
Brian. And if you have any more questions, feel free, anybody, just to contact me at any time. And I'm available on email, on Facebook, whatever you need, so we can help everybody out here.
Awesome stuff, man. Thanks everybody for joining us on this Hero Boost. I want to wish you all the best as you reach towards your goals of providing clean water to communities in Africa. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.